Let's talk all about interview tips. So one of the first things that is going to occur in the interview, the hiring manager, the recruiter, they're going to ask you the question, tell me about yourself. Most people are usually inclined with that question to talk about their work history, their educational background, but that's actually not the way that you want to go. This is your chance to sell the hiring manager, the recruiter, whoever it is, on why they should pick you. This is the part when I say you sell yourself. This is usually going to be the first impression they have of you, so whatever you say, make it stick and have yourself stand out from other potential candidates. When I was asked this question in the beginning, I immediately started highlighting skills that I felt could asset the company and why I could be a potential candidate for the role. The second very important tip is research the company. I'm speaking from experience on this one. When I first started interviewing out of college, I did absolutely zero research on some of the companies I applied to. And then when the question was presented, like, oh, so tell me about the work culture at blah, blah, blah. I was like, so that's a big question that you're going to get. They're going to ask you, why do you want to work for this company? What makes us stand out from our competing companies? Why will you be an asset to the company? Just tell us what you know about the company. And if you're going to talk out of your ass, they're going to know. So do the research of the company you're applying for. Rule of thumb, I would say, is just know like 2 or 3 things that makes that company stand out and why you see yourself as an asset there. Third tip, I would say, is talk about success. So if you've had previous sales roles and you're interviewing to get into the pharmaceutical industry, speak on the quotas that you hit. Speak on any achievements that you had in your sales role. The most important thing I would say is when you're interviewing, remember you're applying for a sales role, right? So coming in, especially if you have no experience, you have to do something that's going to make you stand out to the other potential reps. Show them that you're determined, you're persistent, you're eager, and you're willing to do anything to break into the industry, and you're going to do a good job. For those of you that don't have any industry experience, maybe don't even have sales experience, my best advice would be to look at the roles that you've had, whether it's nursing, whether it's retail, and see how that can transfer over to pharmaceutical industry. So for instance, that kind of was me. I had some retail experience, I had pharmacy experience, I had nursing experience, I had sales experience, inside sales role. So I kind of took every single one of those positions and relayed it back to the position I was applying for and said, hey, look, this is what I did there. This is how I believe it can help me at this role. Another thing that I did want to say is that I've heard people say in some of these interviews, they ask you, here's a pen, sell it to me. I personally did not have to do that. But remember, you are applying for a sales role. So if that does happen, you have to be prepared to sell because that's what you're going to be doing. And always, 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 when the interview is over, make sure you sell yourself. Close with saying, hey, I understand I don't have this on my resume, but this is what I do have and how I can be an asset to the company and the team.